today. Got to crack on with this harvest, that's for sure. Then we need to get our bottoms over into Jack's as well. Try and help him out best that we can. Right, let's lower that down. Let's crack on with this. Now this is going to be quite a big harvest, really. I think it is officially the biggest field on the farm. So, and it's not like the biggest harvester and header in the world, but it's more than big enough for this farm. Especially after we were having issues turning around and getting into tight corners and things like that. But overall, yeah, it's more than big enough for what we're doing. Just a case of not hitting anything and everything, really. Try not to hit anything back there. That's fine. Jeez. Maybe should have closed that gate. Might have been a little bit easier if I did close that gate. But yeah, it'd be nice to do a little bit of work on some cows. You know, that's kind of what I know. But yeah, I think Jeff said he's not going to be about much today. Maybe doing paperwork. If you own a farm, I know there's a lot of paperwork involved, government paperwork saying what you've planted, what you've not planted, what you've harvested, how much you've harvested. Then you've got all your financial forms, and oh yeah, it's a nightmare to run a farm on the paperwork side of things. It's not just as easy as getting a tractor and go. That's why he doesn't do much. You know, he's always busy doing paperwork, or you know, he does bits, but hey, if he did more, he probably wouldn't need us. That's the thing. Maybe look at it that way. Yeah, the sooner we get over into Jack's, though, basically the idea is the sooner we get into Jack's, the sooner we can maybe look at getting that tractor off him. So £1,000 for that little Ford. Yeah, you know, it's an old tractor. It might have some issues, but we can only get it and find out. And worst case scenario, he said he was offered about £1,500, wasn't he, for scrap or trading a parts. You know, let's be fair. But the bits that are alright on it, you know, might fix another one if someone's got one. So if it's not exactly a great tractor, we can always just look at shifting it on and getting something from the shop. He's basically doing us a good deal. He's to help him out. Go in, cut his grass, bale it up, well, ted it, windrow it, bale it up, whatever needs doing, and basically we're going to get a few £100 for doing it, you know. But not technically getting a few £100, we're just getting a few £100 knocked off something. So yeah, you know, busy day. But it'll be nice to try and get something done. You know, September is slowly coming to an end, and we've got to get all the grass cut, like I say. Don't want it to, you know, when the wet weather comes, we're going to be a little bit stranded. Can't really do anything in the wet weather. But we did have a little rain shower in the night, but it was like late, well, it was like late evening, to be fair. I wouldn't exactly call it night time, but everything was fine this morning to get this harvest done. Now, I'm not really sure on the fill capacity again, so we do just need to have a little look. I want to get a headland done first and get this main headland done. We can right, that first beep is about 50%, I believe, so this is going to be a lot. We haven't even done a headland yet and we're already half full, so yeah, for all we know, the might be some extra corn to sell. I do like this field. This field has got more room for the harvester, but it's a bigger field, so you know, he's not. I can understand him, like with his sunflower fields, you know, it was really close to the wall and things like that, but it wasn't the biggest field, and he's just trying to maximise the space. Just very difficult to reverse a harvester. That's for sure. Oh, I'm finding it very hard to reverse a harvester, put it that way. I have missed a little bit on that edge, but we will maybe look at trying to get that at the end. I want to get the majority of this done so we can get a trailer in. So let's just have a look what we're on. So we've done a headland, and wow, yeah, that is quite... That's about 55% full, I reckon. Yeah, it'd be nice to get our hands on that little tractor. Gives us something to do. Plus, we know we get a pay rise the minute we get our hands on a tractor that can work on the farm. So, yeah, that's going to help us. Got to be, you know, at the end of the day, what is it? 20% pay rise? Because obviously we'll have to fund our own insurance and fuel and stuff like that, so I understand where it's coming from. But those months where you don't do much, let's be fair, in winter we're going to get paid for not really doing much. Once everything's... Although saying that, everything we plant on the farm is a spring crop, so that's why we've not been rushing to get the fields cultivated and mulched and stuff. We've got all winter to do that. All winter. Plus we've got to feed the pigs. We want to get some kind of mixer brought in. I don't know if he's going to rent one of them or buy one. I'm going to presume he's rented one in the past. I know he is trying to expand his pigs. That much I do know. That's the whole point of me being here. So he's got more time and more help, so we can get more. And let's be fair, if he sells potato when he's selling corn, at the end of the day, get more pigs, and instead of selling that, we can just use it as feed, and then you can sell the pigs on. Take them to the bacon factory. Wait for that second beep. That second beep is going to tell me it's about 80% full, I think. But we've got to be getting... Whoa! Definitely. Basically, when that window's full, I'm full. That's how I'm going to look at it. We don't want to be running over any crop. As you can see, we are absolutely flying through this today. Nice early start. I say we've got loads to do. We'll spend the morning getting this done, or I say morning. And apparently that's full. Okie dokie. I did not hear the second beep. Interesting. Right, I'm gonna have to run and get a tractor. I was gonna say, there's the Volvo, but where's the trailer? Look, I slept, okay? I've forgotten where I put everything. I've been to sleep since then. Let's get around here. That's the easiest way to go. Around there, lovely. Right. We're halfway around the second headland. The 1.5 headland seem to be the one bit of corn standing in the middle. Let's get this on, and then we can crack on with the rest of the harvest. Shouldn't really have left the harvester running, especially when it's not moving, but yeah, it'll be fine. We weren't going far. It's not like we were going miles and miles away. Right, got to try and see what, you know, we don't want to miss pipe. Lovely, look at that. Right, let's just got a little bit at the front, let's get a little bit at the back, try and level it out, but that's more for the next load, to be fair. And there we go. Let's just could have bought this trailer with a ladder, I think. Would have been nice to see. Yeah, you can see we're looking really, really good. There we go, that is one empty harvester, so time for us to crack on with the rest of the harvest. We have managed to just kill a little bit there and run it over. Well, that's us coming up to our second harvester load. Keep checking it, we are slowly getting filled there. So this is what, the fourth headland? We've got more than enough room to start doing rows now, but obviously let's see if we can just get to the end of here. There's not much. There we go. Perfect. So we'll empty now, and then that gives us some rows then. More than enough top and bottom. But yeah, a second headland, second harvester full. Sorry, I'm saying headland, a little bit tired. Like I said, I had a good night's sleep last night, but just a bit of an early start today. It's what, about nearly 25 past 7, half past 7. Yeah, but you know, if we want to help Jack out today, we've got to get this done. That's the important thing. Now, is there going to be enough room for me to just do a quick U-turn here without going in that corner? It's a little bit tight. Yes, there we go, look at that. Fantastic. And like an idiot, I didn't put the pipe out. So we're going to have to just, before we pull up next to it, let's just leave that running for a second. Put the pipe out. Gives us an idea of where we need to be. Yeah, it's a little bit too far over, you see. That's more like it. Basically, just got away in the middle of the tractor for the middle of the auger. And even then, it was a little bit... just a little bit to one side. Yeah, you can see the trailer. I can just see it starting to creep over now. Let's just go back a little bit. Let's try and get a little bit more on the front side of things. Try and get a bit of an even distribution if we can help it. There we go. Into the middle. Wow, that is maybe going to be full. Wow, that is actually... it did manage to take that, but I think we're going to just have a look. Yep. Don't think we're going to get another harvester load in there. That's the piping. So yeah, we'll do some strips now and we'll get on with the next load. But yeah, I think we're going to have to empty the trailer first. It's the only downside to a harvest like this, and I'm on my own today. You know, I've got to do the harvester work. I've then got to bring the trailer over. I've got to empty the trailer. It's just delays things, but you know, I understand the farm's got a lot of paperwork needs to be done. Well, that's another harvester load. It's not quite full. I'd say it's about 70%, but the problem is I'm not going to get another row done, and the pipe will be on the wrong side. So I've got to empty it at this point, but obviously with the trailer being nearly full now, yeah, I've got to empty the trailer. Now this is a fantastic trailer. I'm just going to say that it's absolutely fantastic. It holds a good amount, but it won't quite hold 3 harvester loads, and there's no point emptying half a load, if that makes sense. No point whatsoever. So we need to get this dropped off. And into the silo. Just straighten that up. We don't want to miss any on the side, do we? There we go. Lovely. Right, all dropped off. It's quite a slow trailer. Right, let's go and empty this harvester, and then that way we should. I reckon there's maybe, no, somewhere. This is 3 harvest loads. I'm trying to think what we've got roughly left to do, to be honest. I reckon we're about a third. Do you know something? Yeah. I reckon we're going to need another 2. Right, that's us back in the field. Right, let's get this done. So start that up, drop that corn into there. Lovely, look at that. Just drive a little bit back, a little bit at the front of the trailer, and a little bit just at the back. Try and spread the load just a little bit. We're not going far with it, but we still don't want to get like, there's too much weight on the back end. It'll lift the front off, you know, it'll lift the front of the trailer, which will basically lift the back of the tractor up. So if we can just spread it out a little bit, that will be a lot better. Right, that's all done there. That's empty in there. Let's get that's in there. Just have a look in that mirror. Yep, lovely. Job done. I do love that bottom mirror though. That bottom mirror is really good for checking the auger pipe. Yeah, this is going to be quite a while to get this done, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a lot quicker than it is, but you know, I know harvesting's not a quick job, but having to do the trailer work as well is very frustrating. I can see why he brought in help. It doesn't help when I'm missing little bits, but the odd little bits, fine. It's quite a small header, but I don't think this harvester could power anything wider, to be honest. Plus then if you got a wider header, we're just going to fill up even quicker. I reckon this is what, 4.5 meter header, somewhere in between there. So 6 is about average, but obviously that's a bigger horsepower requirement as well. And I know this is an old school tractor. Like I say, he has a lot of old equipment, but if it works, why replace it? Like if I get my hands on the Ford, as long as it does the job and does the job well, that's the thing. It's not just doing the job, but you've got to do the job well. For example, if you pull in say a seeder and you're literally traveling at 1 mile an hour because the PTO takes all the power, that, yes, you're doing the job, but you're not doing the job well, and you're just delaying things, for example. So you know, we've got a bit of trial and error to do, but we'll get our hands on the Ford. We'll give it a little whirl, like see what it wants and that, you know, give it a bit of a service, drop the oil in it, try and maybe give it a bit of a clean up, because I know it should clean up really well. It will look real muddy in the barn unless it was rust. I know it's had some work on the trailer pull in the past, so I did notice that was a different colour. That must have had a welded repair done on it at some point, but which is fine. Clearly works. It just might be a lower limit for what we can pull. But once we get a tractor, we want to try and get our hand on a little trailer. And I tell you something else as well. I bet you 50%. Bottom of the window. So yeah, I reckon there'll be some older farmers out there who'll want some work doing. So if we can get our hands on like a spreader, you know, a fertilizer spreader, maybe get our hands on our own plough. Like our whole goal is to get ourselves a little farm. Doesn't have to be anything big, doesn't have to be anything major. It can be grass and sheep. That's it. And we just want to try and get our hands on a little plot, get some animals, you know, try and establish our own farm and kind of expand from there. That's the goal. So if we can buy some of this equipment while working for somebody else, we're not, you know, when we eventually get a bit of land, we can just kind of crack on. Now I'm sure Jeff might be willing to rent me his equipment or take a cut of the profit or something. He's a businessman after all, not just a farmer. Well, farmer's a businessman at the end of the day. Yeah, this is going to see, I think, to be honest, by the time we get this done, This field is going to be long into the afternoon. Right, I did want to empty at the end of going up that one. I did say we were going to do that, but we might get away with it. We might get away with getting to the bottom of here. If we do, we're laughing. We just got to keep an eye. That hits the top of that window, we've got to empty. If we can maybe empty at the beginning of the next row, that would be handy. Yeah, we've got all winter. So this winter we've got to plough the fields. We've got to get some lime down. We've got to get some slurry or manure or both. Like I say, he tries to be organic. So we'll use as much fertilizer as possible from his farm. I know he does have a little fertilizer spreader, but I'm going to presume he uses that one for lime. He actually managed to get that all the way to the end. Granted, if you look in the window, she's full. Let's just turn that header off. There's no point wasting extra fuel. Wow, we got quite a lot done there for one tank. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll go and we'll get this emptied into the trailer, and then we'll go and empty this trailer into the silo. Yeah, it's not there. Yep, looking good. Let's just pull over a little bit to one side. Yeah, a little bit too far over again. I don't want to risk that. Might get away with like another... I don't know. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to put too much weight on the Volvo as well. You know, just because you can fill it to the top doesn't mean you should. I mean, it does get a little bogged down, and if we use the Ford for any trailer work, and I can tell you now, that's like 30% less power than the Volvo. Oh yeah. Do it. We'll just do this. We know we'll get the rest of it. Let's get Martin. Right. Well, that has taken pretty much all of the morning, but we are pretty much coming to the end now, which is good. Oh, don't want to miss much. Don't want to miss any really, but yeah. A little bit too busy looking at that JCB digger just driving past. I do love a JCB. There we go. What we got in the tank? Oh, we're nearly full. It would be nice if we could just get this last little bit. Look, that's all there's left to do. But we might just have to empty on the way up. Don't think we're going to have enough room to get all this. Can you imagine having to empty the harvester and then do this half a tooth, you know, half a width worth? That's insane. But we've got to go a little bit slower because we're at the window. I don't want to risk it, guys. Let's just run through the corner. Look, that is all there's left. 3 rows. Let's just sprint up here. Oh, jeez. It's amazing how out of shape I am. There we go. Oh, get up there. Around here. There is the vibe. It's surprising how much I've missed in little tufts here and there. That might actually equal quite a bit, to be honest. But it's going to take us a long time to keep going around getting all that tuff. It'll probably use more fuel than it's probably worth doing. Can't really stand in front of the header when I turn it on, but I keep forgetting to turn it off. But tell you what, you're probably fine now. There we go. Let's just turn that off. Let's just move that backwards and forwards a little bit. Try and level it out a little bit. And that is pretty much all of that done. So all we've got to do is drive up here, and that is the corn harvest done. So that's all the harvesting done on Jeff's farm for the year. Like I say, I've missed bits here. He might not be happy with that. I'll get, like I say, I thought I'd got it all. Amazing what you don't grab. That looks like there is next to, oh, that looks like there is next to nothing on that last bit there. But let's just run down. I tell you, I'm going to get real fit running up and down here doing this on my own. And that is it. That is all of the fields harvested. But yeah, this needs a bit of a wash. Needs a bit of a, probably a bit of a fuel up. I'm going to try and fuel it up after every like harvest time, because yeah, I can imagine it's quite a thirsty beast. Can I just let's get that in there. Let's get that headed off and up, and let's turn that off. Right, let's go and get this put into the silo. Yeah, before I nip over to Jack's, I'm gonna have to just get this harvester. I think, like I say, give it a bit of a wash, give it a bit of a refuel. I think it makes sense to do that. Oh, be careful of that wall. We get very close to that wall every time. There we go. Right, let's give this a bit of a clean, guys. We've had it on the fields again. We'll give it a bit of a clean. Last thing we want is equipment falling apart. Do you know what I mean? I know he's not going to be happy with me dumping this outside his house, but just want to get it away from here for now. Might be better parking this trailer. Whoa, we've hit the hedge. Jesus Christ, let's hope we've not done any damage. I don't think we will have done. Tractors are really reliable, really strong and tough. Let's just put that there. So let's get that undone there. Let's get that dropped off there. I'm gonna go and put this over here. I might need this over at Jack's. He did say I can borrow some of his tractors and stuff. Well, I say I'm not quite done yet. Let's just run to the I'm telling you now, guys, sprint into each equipment like this because I'm on my own. Yeah. We're running a marathon before long. There. Just as close as we can. Leave the engine running, cause it's not good to keep turning them on and off all the time, but it's not good for any batteries and starter motors, to be honest. But we aren't going to be here for long. Let's just give that a bit of a clean. Let's get down here under the chassis. Gonna make it look like new. That's looking really good. Let's just get under here. Let's get underneath there. Clean behind here. let's go and do the other side, haven't we? And all these little gaps, give it a good jet wash underneath. Good jet wash along the top. Looking fantastic to me. There we go. So that is one clean harvester. Now, can I park at this harvester in here, or is that going to be too difficult? I'm trying to see here, guys, the mirrors. Can't really tell though, for use the red pole at the back to line up, but it's difficult to see how far we need to reverse this thing. It's so bloody long. What if we line the front of the harvester up with the front of the shed, round about there, I reckon? Are we in? It's not exactly the shed we want to be parking in, really, but we filled the other one full of potatoes, so we don't really have much option at the moment. Now, we do need to take some straw bales over to Jack's. We were to take the square bales, weren't we? So we need to look at all that potato. It's crazy. So, right. Oh, so there's the bale spike. We've got 4 bales. I thought we had 2. To be honest. I don't like turning right with this thing. You can never see the arm. It's just in the way. Let's just lower that down there. Just get that there. There we go. Yeah, look, you turn left, you can see all day long. I'm going to turn right again now, and the arm's in the way. Now you can lift the arm up, but then the problem is when you do your turn, you then got to wait to lower it again. Yeah, he said we can take all the square bales over to Jack. Now I do need to go grab some lunch, but I do just want to take these over because this is not what we're going to be cutting grass with this afternoon. That's the thing. Right, we're going to have to lift them up. Let's just put them on a bit of an angle like that. Lift them up like that, just in case there's any traffic coming either way. Last thing we want to do is fighting with them and carrying bales. This telehandler is so steady though. Gotta be careful up here though. It's very, very bumpy indeed. Just make sure there's nothing coming this way. Nothing coming that way. No, we're good. Yeah, I reckon we'll be able to spend the afternoon over at Jack's. Don't know what we'll get done. I left the gate open for a reason, because the last thing I wanted to be doing was holding up traffic. Oh, he keeps his straw somewhere else. Now this is old straw. It's not exactly fresh stuff. So I would be more inclined to use this for bedding rather than in the feed mix. End of the day, old stock. Add them right up against that wall. Lovely. So if we go back for the other 2, that's the main thing. Let's just lift that up because I do believe it'll be my luck if I've got that down and I can't see. I should have it down up anyway. It stops people getting hurt. There's nothing coming at the moment. We've got to go, go, go. Oh, that was handy. So we've been to Jackson back without any traffic. Whoa, this thing flies going downhill. Fantastic. There, that there, and that should be low enough. Get that turning left and get us away from that wall. Fantastic. Look at that. I'm like a pro. Oh yeah, like I say, it's a bit bumpy coming up there. Very bumpy indeed. Nice if we could maybe try and get that flattened out or something. Nothing coming again. Don't want to go too high with that because otherwise we might hit a branch on a tree. Jesus Christ, it's bumpy coming in there and all. Now there's one thing, that is not a very wide mower. I think the best thing we can do right now is just get them on top of each other. I think that was going to be the best thing to do. Let's just get that pretty much level. Mark that on there. Don't knock it all off. There we go. Fantastic. Right, we'll just have to move out of the way because I know there's a pole around there somewhere. Barn, there we go. Let's just safe on the roads. You know what's going to happen now? There's going to be a car coming. Not seeing anything coming. We're making a move. Here we go again. And then that hill. Look at it go down this hill. Whoa. I've got to say one thing though. That is not going to be fun driving up there with a trailer full. Let's just lower that down now because we're back on the farm. He has his own equipment over at Jack's. There's no point going for Jack's, coming back, going, do you know what I mean? Either way, it was gonna take quite a while. I tell you what I'm gonna do. It's on dinner time. I'm gonna go and grab some lunch, I think. Before we go to Jack's, we'll grab some lunch.